Another way I have clients do this is they might be able to get down, but then they can't push back up. And if that's the case, then just walk back up. So you're coming forward, you're going to take the forward motion and then just walk your hands back.
Hi, welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I explore topics intended to optimize every body 50, 60, 70, and above.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode number 2 in my series on exercises to reverse osteoporosis and osteopenia. All right, everybody, this is episode number 2. If you haven't watched episode number 1, please go back. I'll put it in the link underneath this video because it's in episode number 1 that explain the situation with osteopenia, osteoporosis, that it's a silent killer. If you don't know you have it, you don't know you have it, and you need to know, so you need to get tested. I talk about the ranges, which are what makes something osteopenia, your bone density osteopenia versus osteoporosis, that it affects men and women both, and that we need to be doing some sort of plyometric training in addition to strength training with dumbbells or resistance of some sort. All right, I go into much more detail on that in my first video. So please go back and find that and listen to the first 5 minutes to get up to speed. Now I'm showing the exercises in the remaining part of the series, and I'm doing them in a progression. So the first one was the easiest one with the least forces, ground forces on you. This is number 2, and they're going to get progressively, more loading as we go, because I want you to have an inventory depending on where you are in terms of your osteopenia or osteoporosis. If you're more severe, you want to start with the lower ones, or if you haven't been doing anything like this, you want to start with the less loaded and then progress up to the ones that are more loading. And everybody wants to do the progression, okay, regardless. But depending on where you're starting, you can start with the ones that are more demanding, but most of the time I recommend start with the lower ones. So I did the lowest one in video number 1 in this series. This one is also one that anyone can start with. I'll show a couple modifications, but this one is targeting the wrists, okay, and the upper bones of the upper body. We have 3 main areas that osteoporosis and osteopenia create the highest fragility fracture risk, and that is our wrists, our spine from the neck down to our lumbar spine, the vertebrae of the spine, and then the hip area, which includes the top of the femur bone, the bone of your thigh, and then the pelvic bones, our sit bones and the bones of our pelvis. All right, so those are the 3 areas that are most susceptible to risk of fracture if you have low bone density. So these are the ones I'm targeting for this exercise series. So this is exercise number 2. It's the second video, and I'm targeting the wrists. All right, now, plyometric loading means there's more than just your body weight or, coming down with the force on the bones, all right? And we want that. Regular push-ups are really good to do. Strength training with dumbbells, really good to do. But what I'm going to show right here is even above that because it's got a plyometric, a velocity and a force coming down on these bones that's higher than the other ones I just, mentioned. So the way you do this is you're going to be on your knees, and you're going to basically put your arms out in front of you, and you're going to basically fall forward and take the weight of the fall into your arms. And as you hit the ground, you're going to bend your elbows, and then you're going to push yourself back up. All right. So when you hit the ground and you bend your elbows and bring your chest towards the floor, you are absorbing the load so that you don't, you're not rigid and going to do any tendon or muscle damage. But you're loading the bones with a load that's higher than just your body weight, okay?
Your Second 50.life is my virtual platform that is designed for both men and women over 50 and 60, 70, and 80. And it includes pre-recorded video information on exercise and how to do it, whether you're fit and in good health, or if you have bad knees, bad shoulders, a bad back, whatever. It includes information on how to eat for weight management and how to eat for health management. It includes information on the psychology of aging and what do we need to do in our heads, because let's face it, this aging thing is not for the faint of heart. So your Second 50.life is a virtual platform of resources that you can access at your own leisure, but it also includes 2 times a month live video coaching with me so that you can bring your own individual questions and get individual coaching, as well as have access to all the information on the pre-recorded videos. So please check it out, because we're all in this together and we got this.
So the way it looks is this. I'm going to do 10 so you can see what I'm suggesting to do as a set, okay? So your arms are out, you kind of free fall forward, absorb the weight, and then push back up. You absorb the weight so you don't face plant, okay? So that was 1. Okay, push, and then push back up. 2. So you're coming down, bending the elbows, absorbing the weight so you're not falling, your body doesn't touch the floor. That's 3. 4, and then the push back up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 more in the set, and 10. All right, taking a little break. So now you're going to feel tingling and sensation on the muscles of your arms, and in the load, because of the load, you are literally hitting the ground with 3 times your body weight on your bones, okay? And we want that because the research shows that these higher ground forces stimulate the bone and the muscle, by the way, but we're talking bone here, to recruit and bring calcium and vitamin D into the bone and shed off the dead bone and reform new bone, because bone is actually live tissue that's constantly rejuvenating itself. All right, and these forces are causing the new bone to be, the osteoblasts to be stimulated to create new bone, okay? So that was set number 1. Now, so let me show you a couple modifications. If, you're new to this and you're afraid you're gonna face plant, or there's too much of you have more body weight than I do, let's say, on your upper body, and you're not as strong, then you're gonna wanna do something where you are gonna, you're gonna come, like you're going to bend your hips a little bit more, and you're gonna have less force. So you're keeping more of your weight over your knees, which are supporting you on the floor, as opposed to coming out further, okay? So that's one modification, is just come down closer to your body, and you can see that there's less force. But again, if you're just starting, this is appropriate, okay? So you would do 10 like this. Another way I have clients do this is they might be able to get down, but then they can't push back up. And if that's the case, then just walk back up. So you're coming forward, you're gonna take the forward motion and then just walk your hands back. All right, so there's a couple modifications. Now, we just did 1 set of 10. When I give this as an exercise to my clients that have osteopenia, I tell them you want to do a set of 10 3 times. And on this one, because the loading force is pretty intense, you would do this every other day, okay? So you're giving yourself a day in between to just let the body repair, regroup, and rebuild, so that you can do the next day and get the improvement that we're after. Because if you do it too much, then you actually have too much breakdown and you're blocking the reforming of the bone, okay? Not enough recovery time, and you can actually get hurt. So every other day on this one, a set of 10 done 3 times, okay? So you're actually doing 30 repetitions. All right, everybody, this is number 2 in my 6-part series, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on episode number 3. And if you'd like to have access to some of my additional resources, I can be found at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and on my website, www.judyterrell.com.